it was meant to be one big distraction. All that stuff going on, all the noise, all the chaos, all the confusion in the outside world, within your life, within your relationships, within your job, within your understanding of your purpose. It was all meant to be a distraction. So if you guys, maybe you have seen this topic, maybe you haven't, but there's like the topic of landing on the moon and how it was a distraction for what was happening really. And whatever you believe about it doesn't matter. The point is that there's this concept that like the government will create distractions so that other things can take place behind the scenes. And no one would really pay attention to it. Laws can get passed, people can get elected, whatever. And so that is what's happening in your life. When we are so focused on the thing that we want, the desire, the outcome, and we're like, this is what I want, manifest, 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 put it under my pillow, yes, 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 pray to my crystals, then, we're creating a lot of resistance. Unless you're like a master at it and you can focus on it while also knowing to let it go and have no attachment, understand that if it doesn't happen, you're going to be fine. And by doing that, you allow it to come in because you've let go of all attachment and expectation. And so sometimes, actually often, there is divine intervention. You're meant to like get this big boom of a distraction so that you can take your focus off of that desire and allow it to come in. And when we start to really become aware of this process, we can do it more strategically. No, you just gotta wait here. And so the way that we can do this is, if there's something that you really want, money, health, right? Then, yeah, it's all coming in at once. I love these downloads. Oh, it's a bird. It sounded like a man. So we can do this by, intentionally. And so if we really want money, we really want health, and like those are our main things, whatever, love, whatever it is, then we have to focus on something else. You know how like people talk about this often. It's like love will find you when you least expect it. But if you're like constantly being like, where is my future partner? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Then in that, you can get so distracted by, or like misled, I guess, by your desire, that maybe you just like take the low hanging fruit and you take the thing that's right in front of you because you attracted something that's not quite in resonance because you had all this resistance and attachment. And then once it's here, you're like, oh my God, it's here. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then you latch on and you're like attached, but it's like, it's not really the thing that is like really lighting you up. But you're like, I need it. And so instead you can be like, I'm going to focus on me. I'm going to go travel. I'm going to write that book. I'm going to, create that business. I'm going to start that YouTube channel. I'm going to do whatever, focus on you. Self-care. Take that bubble bath every night. Read those books, like, whatever. Oh, I miss my bubble bath so much. In Switzerland, I would take a bath every single night. When I was there a year ago, like literally just a year ago, is when I was about to arrive to Switzerland for a month and a half. And I was out there in the Alps all alone. I didn't know anybody. I met quite a few people, but like very surface level people in my life. It wasn't like I met any like deep connections. I was also wondering why I wasn't making any deep connections. Like, why hadn't I met my husband? I was wondering why I didn't make any good friends. And then I kind of realized, I was like, that time was really important for me to take the bubble bath and me to, just focus on every day doing my meditations. I like went so deep into my meditations. I went so deep into learning the language of my divine team. I just like went slow. I started this YouTube channel in Switzerland. Because I was making space and just focusing on, the limit. Well, not, how do I say this? I was doing what I could do with my limitations. So my limitations were that I didn't know anybody. I wasn't really meeting people, even though I was trying. Stop. And I just had closed my Etsy business. I took a leap towards my YouTube stuff because it's like, this is all that I want. I read a lot of books. I read Reality Transurfing. I read a ton of Sarah J. Maas. I just spent time like being in like that hermit mode, which is very important. And out of that birthed like all of this YouTube channel with all of you, saving 6 horses now, living in a van in Italy. In Switzerland, I was talking about like how much I really wanted to buy a van, and I like didn't really know how because of all the different stuff. Like I had an Irish passport, but I still like I couldn't figure out how to register it, and it was all these things. And because I allowed myself to just focus on what I could focus on and stop. You've been so annoying today. I love you. He's been whining all day. He just wants and wants and wants. He wants more food. Oh, I want more food. He's such a funny puppy. I love him so much. And so sometimes, these distractions are meant to, and these conditions and these limitations are meant to happen to redirect your focus. I surrendered to what was happening at that time, and I just redirected my focus to what felt good, right? That's like the basis of everything that I talk about is like just follow the joy, follow the curiosity, and don't do what you don't want to do. And so I didn't want to do Etsy anymore. I didn't want to talk to customers about customizing digital art anymore. I wasn't getting lit up about it. I just wanted to move slow. I wanted to make videos, and that's it. I wanted to then like travel and all of that. And so I just focused on that and what I could right in front of me. And so sometimes like this topic of like getting distracted, I've kind of been what's the word? Reflecting on all the chaos on the farm that's been going on recently. And I'm like, well, because I've been like kind of navigating, like just like like I feel like I'm like dodging like plates being thrown at me. I don't know, like a little video game or something. I'm like, ah. It's allowed me to kind of like move my resistance away from other things that I'm calling into my life, so that there's like in the energetic perspective of it, there's no attachment to it anymore. And so now that I have the space, like physically, because I've moved my van to a place with a lot of space, and energetically and mentally and emotionally, like things have finally just kind of like calmed. The chaos, the storm has calmed quite a bit. I have turned back to those things, those projects that I have been wanting, and even the topics of like love and topic of travel and all these things that I'm turning to them. And I'm like, oh my God, like you're so just possible. You're so happening right now. You're so, exciting. And I can feel into it in a completely different way because I allowed myself to be present in the moment and respond in a way to what was going on in front of me in the most conscious way possible. And so if there's something going on in your life right now and it's just taking up a lot of energy, you get to choose how you respond to it. You get to choose. That's the only thing you get to choose really in life, is how you respond to it. And so the suffering in life is inevitable, but you get to choose to witness the suffering and see it as something separate from you, because the only thing that's separate from you is the suffering. The illusion of separateness from source is what causes the suffering. And so when you can tap back into that, look at these divine intervention distractions in front of you and navigate them in the best of your ability by following the joy and the curiosity and staying in your soul sovereignty no matter what. Like, yes, it was uncomfortable when I was getting ghosted by new Swiss friends that I thought I was making and all these things. But I was like, you know what feels good is getting in this bathtub with some like natural salts and bubbles and reading my book and then going to bed early and then waking up early and then going outside and walking with Arlo in the snow and throwing the stick and like just focusing on that. And I was like learning all about the balancing forces the concept within reality transurfing. And so when my subconscious mind was pinging like, oh my God, you're not working. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like you closed your business. You don't have a job. Oh my God, oh my God. I would just look at it. I would just observe it. I would be like, you're so interesting. You kept me in a box for not so long because I'm still pretty young, but like you kept me in a box for a while. And this is what keeps so many people in a box, is like these beliefs and these patterns. And so by just sitting with everything and looking at it and then redirecting my focus and my energy so that everything else could clear up in the background, and I could, anytime a thought that was untrue came up, I could look at it and say, you're not true, and then go back to my bubble bath. So I hope that this made sense. Allow your distractions right now to be a divine intervention, but move through it consciously. Don't just check out. Arlo, you are a little baby. Sit down and relax. I want to share our fundraiser with you. I have a video that I put together for the farm. We are rescuing 9 horses right now, and it would be such a special thing if you contributed to that, if you feel called to do that, in resonance with that. So I will include that video at the end of this. It's like a 4 or 5 minute video. And then also, if you want to sign up for one of my programs, I have 21 days to rewire your mind, which is all about rewiring your mind, healing your nervous system, and stepping into your chosen timeline. And so it's about getting familiar with your chosen timeline and visiting it every single day, not talking about symptoms anymore, not talking about your limitations anymore, not believing that they're real, and rewiring your mind. So firing together new neurons that are in alignment with that high vibrational state that comes with your chosen timeline, so that you also heal your nervous system, because you're teaching your body what it feels like to be safe and abundant and free. And then you start thinking like your chosen timeline self, and you literally change your entire reality. So that program I recommend first for people, unless you feel like you have a really regulated nervous system and like you're all good in that, then you can start with whatever you want. But then I would recommend you can go to 21 days to know your divine guidance. So divine guidance is all about learning the language of your angels and guides, learning how to communicate with them based off of like what your gifts are. So some people receive messages like through hearing, through knowing, through feeling, through tasting, through smelling. And so there's different ways that you communicate with the divine. Stop, Arlo. Come here. Sit. Stop being a baby. No. And it also allows you to get clear with your higher self, with your intuition, and to ultimately make decisions from that place, so that you don't have to go to this outside world stuff for validation, for approval, for answers to the questions that you have all the answers to within yourself. So, and then Decondition is my program that starts on January 1st. The pre-sale is going on right now. That is a combination of these 2 programs, but more. And it's all about consistency. It gives you the tools for a whole library of meditations, for sound therapy through sound baths and hypnosis and different exercises. And it's really like everything that I wish that I had 10 years ago when I first became chronically ill and was searching for my purpose and starting to wake up. And even when I had woken up already, Arlo, stop. When I already had woken up, and I wanted to go deeper and deeper, because it's not like you just wake up and you're like, I'm good to go. It's like this human experience has layers, and we go deeper and deeper and deeper. And every time you go deeper, you're downloaded with the codes, and those codes then become contagious to others, and you start having this ripple effect of healing the world, helping the world step into the not chosen timeline, but new earth energy, and this natural evolution that has to happen. If you're watching these videos, if you're called to these programs, if you're called to my videos and these topics, then you are part of like I recommend reading the Law of One material, but there's like harvestable beings who are ready for this new earth energy, and they're people, human beings, spiritual beings that are not ready for this new earth energy. And so we just you're either compatible or not for the next evolution of this time. And so if you're here with me right now, you are ready, you are a part of this, you're helping the planet wake up. And so I would invite you to any of those programs and to the fundraiser, which I will play right now. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. This is the story of Liam and why we're starting this fundraiser to bring him home. We want to bring Liam to our animal sanctuary and rescue here in Italy because he's a special pony, and he has had a history of a lot of trauma and a lot of abuse, and not many people understand him or will ever have the time to understand him, but there's something about him that's actually really special. Liam was sold to the farm owner and founder that we have here on our farm in Italy as something that he wasn't. He was sold as a horse that had no negative history of trauma or abuse, and he's actually covered in scars all over his body from a barbed whip that was used on him. He is terrified of humans. You can see it in his eyes when people come to touch him, but he's learning to tolerate through many, many years of slow introduction to different things and different ways of affection. And so if people have the patience with him, he can be a really wonderful addition to the farm, but he's not like your normal horse. And so recently we've been faced with the situation of him needing to come back to Italy, or come to Italy for the first time, because he can't be boarded at the place that he's in the UK anymore, and no one else will take him, and the options were really to either euthanize him or to bring him here. This was the first time that he had a saddle on with a rider sitting on him. He actually cannot be ridden, but this was a huge moment because he actually trusted it for the short time that she sat on him. So a big win for learning to trust, but we're never going to put him through that. We just want him to come here so that he can live out his life in peace and not have to worry about getting moved around a bunch or whatever would have happened if we tried to find another route. So we want to keep him alive. We want to give him a long, healthy life. We want to give him the love that he needs. And that's why we're raising the money to bring him here. And unfortunately, horse transportation is quite expensive. And so we have been trying to raise the $4,000 needed to bring him here. He's actually en route because we had a friend front the money, but it was just a front and we really want to pay him back. So all of your donations are so appreciated. And thank you so much for your support. And we can't wait to show you Liam's journey of living here in Italy with us. And I want to tell you more about our other horses that we're rescuing, which are 8 horses from Bulgaria. And so I'll tell you their story right now. These 8 horses come from the Foundation Life, which stands for Lucy Irvine Foundation Europe. They are all rescue horses, and Lucy has recently been facing health challenges with cancer, and so our sanctuary here in Italy has offered to take these horses off of her hands and to give them a forever home. This is Star. She was rescued from going to gypsies and working at age under 1 year old, so now she gets to grow up properly. 4 of the other horses that we're rescuing had a past of being raised for Christmas meat, where they were locked away in a stall with no light, and when they were found, they had severe muscle damage. One of them actually is unable to be ridden for the rest of his life, but he makes a great companion to his sister friend. 2 others were sick with tick-borne illnesses to the point where their organs were shutting down, and Lucy was able to nurse them back to health with a lot of dedication and care. One is a stallion who was beat so hard every time he would act just a little bit like a stallion, and now he has a pretty serious fear of men because of that history. Our animal rescue and sanctuary is completely committed to supporting these animals based off of their histories and their triggers and their traumas and their health conditions. And it's our purpose and mission to give them their longest, healthiest life possible here at their forever home. So thank you so much for your support, for your donations to help bring Liam and these 8 horses from Bulgaria here to Italy. The cost of this transportation will be 7,500 euros, and so it is quite expensive for us, especially because we are paying off debts like our hay bill and our electrician and our vet, and so all the extra money from the donation will go to those funds as well. So we thank you from the bottom of our heart for your support to helping us save these animals, give them a home, and to funding the care and the needs of them as well. So we really appreciate you. The link is below to the fundraiser where you can donate.